Guess what I found down in the basement? It's that box of Episode 1 figures you bought in 1999. You thought these were going to be worth a fortune.
And Kenner's there with Star Wars Return of the Jedi collection.
By 1985, interest in Kenner's line of Star Wars action figures was beginning to wane. They had sold millions of toys, but kids were jumping ship to other toy lines, like G.I. Joe.
Lion-O at the controls.
Or Thundercats.
Each sold separately.
Or the real Ghostbusters. It was easy to see why. Kenner was really scraping the bottom of the Star Wars universe barrel, looking for figures to put out.
Why, you little Ewok?
Who needed more Ewoks? Or the Imperial Dignitary? Who even remembers seeing this boring guy in the movie? And Anakin Skywalker? He didn't even come with a lightsaber. Just some old fart in a bathrobe. 12 years later, it was the 20th anniversary of Star Wars. George Lucas re-released the movies, and all of a sudden, Star Wars was cool again. Those vintage figures they couldn't give away back in 1985 were suddenly selling for big bucks, as those grown-up children of the 70s and 80s wanted a piece of their childhood back. In 1999, Star Wars Episode 1 was poised to be released, and fans lost their damn mind. It was the first new Star Wars movie since 1983, and expectations for both the movie and the merchandise were sky high. At midnight on May 2nd, official Episode 1 products went on sale to people who had yet to see the movie.
88:46, so I think I'll be able to sleep, in bed tonight.
So here we are, nearly 15 years later, and it looks like you kept your Episode 1 figures in their original packages. Good man. It's time to cash in. Let's take a look at eBay to get an idea of the market value of these collector's items. Here's some of the original trilogy figures from the 80s. This Darth Vader sold for $1,400. This Han Solo, the bidding went up to $900. $60 for a Gamorrean guard. Even the Ewok Teebo gets $50. Let's see how your Episode 1 figures are selling. What do we got here? Jar Jar Binks with Battle Staff. He went for $3. Well, he wasn't a very popular character. How about Qui-Gon Jinn? $3. Who's this? Rick Oli? I don't even remember him in the movie.
There's the blockade. Shield generator's been hit.
Oh, that's right, yeah. He was in that bad part. So what did he bring in? $3. Hey, now we're talking. Sio Bibble. This is one of the few rare Episode 1 figures. Let's see what kind of a bidding war he sparks. Check it out. $9. He's worth at least 3 Jar Jars. And you were just keeping him in a box down in the basement. Do you remember what these figures retailed for back in '99? They were like $9-10 a piece. You'd be lucky to get a third of that back.
Shield generator's been hit.
You bought 5 Darth Mauls? Holy shit, dude. Well, I guess it made sense at the time. He was the lead villain, right? He was going to be an iconic villain to rival Darth Vader. Every collector was going to be dying to have a mint-on-card example of him. Here's a lot of 4 that went for $5. The original trilogy figures were valuable because they were such a vital part of a generation's childhood. Almost every kid from the late 70s and 80s has fond memories of playing with Star Wars action figures. Playing with them. They ripped them right out of the package. There wasn't a big collector's market back then like there is now. So, aside from a few astute investors...
We're buying Star Wars toys.
Right. In a couple of years, they'll be worth a lot of dough. Like a lot of other things.
No one was saving these things mint in the package. By the time the 1995 action figures rolled around, Everyone was buying them and keeping them preserved. A mix of the flooded market and the fact kids from 1999 don't have the same nostalgia for Episode 1 like we did for Star Wars means these will never be worth shit.